because of the verb that comes earlier in the sentence, that is, they are assigned a number of service calls. So to be assigned something is not just to be offered it, it's to be given that and told that you have to do it. So if you're assigned a number of calls you have to answer, then must is a better choice than can, because can is about your ability, whereas must is about necessity. So if we're imagining an assignment of calls that's taking place during a time period that's been pre-decided. So a set time period is a time period that has been set in place. It's been either decided by management or agreed upon. Um, yeah, so it's kind of a short way of saying a time period that has been determined in advance. There's no grammatical problem, but it's about the logical relationship between the two parts of the sentence. What they're saying, or that what they are trying to say, is that um, we know a business is successful if there are sales of its products and services. So one is conditional on the other. So one hinges on the other. Whereas the success of the business leads to successful sales of its products, that's turning the relationship around. It's saying it's saying that the sales depend on the success rather than success depends on the sales. On is I think it's a really difficult dead metaphor, to be honest, hinges on, because we imagine a hinge like connecting these two things, but what it's actually talking about is where what determines something else. Yeah, it's a yeah, this is how it is used, is that one thing kind of depends on the second thing. So the relationship between them is it's a kind of reversal of a typical hierarchy, because you might say this, therefore this. Instead, we're saying this um, depends on this. Mm. Imagine this as a literally as a hinge. You might say that the door hinges on the door frame. That is, the door can't sit. You can't have a door without a door frame that it's connected to. And so one depends on the other. So so a door needs a frame around it, otherwise it's got nothing to stand on. But that's trying to make it more literal, so it makes sense. But it's actually just a really confusing verb. Like, yeah, this hinges on the handle. Yeah, because a door without a handle would not really be a door. I guess you could. Mm, we often have these chains, don't we? Um, needs to be to do. It's kind of like you one action needs to be in. Mm, um, so you might say that uh, the ingredients need to be ready to ensure that the recipe is cooked quickly. Mm.